Hi, so welcome to this first video, which is on the basics of making a mannequin. So the basic structure that we're going to use to make up the whole of the mannequin is going to be based around a block. Why? Because a human body is a complex structure with many different shapes involved. So it's a lot easier to represent the shapes through block structures. And if you're producing a mannequin that's going to have clothes put on it anyway, then you don't need to have extremely accurate shapes to the mannequin. So even if you're producing a bare mannequin to show a certain pose, a person in a certain pose, then you can still get away with creating a fair representation of them through the block structure. So your basic block looks something like this. Now you could have a cube, and a cube would be where all of the edges are of equal length. In this example, there's a longer edge here, so this is a cuboid. So where you've got a rectangle on at least one side. So how do we make up this basic structure? Well, it's essentially just composed of two squares, one at the bottom, one at the top, and some riser lengths or sections. How do we make up the squares? Well, you cut four lengths of equal size if you want to make it a square, and you just place two of those lengths over the top of the other two at the edges, and you apply glue at each of the joining points. If you do make that and make the same again, then you can create a cube-like structure, block-like structure, by adding risers. So you would cut and glue in pieces like this onto the square to create a riser or a leg. Now, in this example, I've glued some in already. Just put that here. You get all four risers, and then you can add the top. And most of the mannequin is produced this way. It just makes it really easy to produce. Now, this isn't a body part because essentially for all of the parts of the body, there's going to be at least one side that's sloped in some way. So here you can see on every side is straight. If you want to see what it's like for a sloped section, I have the lower leg, and you will see at the back of the lower leg is straight, and the front of the lower leg, where the shin is straight on my leg. It's sloped on my leg anyway. So if you want to change geometry, so at the top you have a bigger shape, bigger square or rectangle, and you go into a smaller square or rectangle, you have to compensate for that somehow as you cross between one and the other. And so to do that, on the lower leg, for example, I have a straight and a slope. So that is the basics of how we're going to make up this mannequin. Okay, on to the next video.